أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وزدنا علما. Glory be to you, O Allah. There is no knowledge except for that which you teach us. O Allah, teach us that which is beneficial to us and increase us in knowledge. Allahumma ya muqallibal qulub, thabbit qulubana ala dinik. O Allah, O change of hearts, keep our hearts firm on your deen. Allahumma ja'al a'malana khalisatan liwajhik, wa la taj'al fiha haddan li ghayrik. O Allah, let make our actions stand sincerely for your sake, and let there not be in them a portion for other than you. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm an executive member of the MSA of the Cape Alumni, and today I'll be sharing with you ayah number 70 of Surah Furqan, which can be found in the 19th juz of the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, A'udhu billahi minash shaytanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. إلا من تاب وآمن وعمل عملا صالحا فأولئك يبدل الله سيئاتهم حسنات وكان الله غفورا رحيما. Now, a few years ago, as I was hiking down Table Mountain, this brother in Islam tells me that he's committed this particular sin, and he asks me whether Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive him. And I tried to convince him, but he still wasn't convinced because I couldn't give him any evidence from the Quran or the Sunnah. And his brother the only other person he had told was his brother, who told him that he's gonna go to hell for what he did. And 3 days later, this brother passed away. And I can only make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts the repentance that I assume he made, and we can only make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives him and all of our deceased. Ameen. But at that point in my life, I had no knowledge of the Quran whatsoever, and how I wish that I did. And I'm 21 years old now. His brother was 21 years old at the time, and I'm 21 years old now. And although I am absolutely nowhere near ready to die, at least if I happen to die now, I can tell Allah, I tried to memorize the book and I tried to understand it. فَتَقَبَّلْ مِنِّي, so accept from me. So if you haven't made any attempt or intention to memorize or understand Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's Quran, then make your niyyah to do so, inshallah, with the permission of Allah. Now, this ayah that I am about to share with you, it won't make sense on its own, so I'll maybe share the two ayahs that come before it. This particular ayah is found in a very special passage of the Quran, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes a very special category of people, namely the Ibadur Rahman, the slaves of the Most Merciful. And amongst the many characteristics that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions that these people have, He says that they don't call upon other deities along with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they don't kill a soul that is forbidden to be killed, and they don't commit zina or unlawful relations. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that whoever does these things, their punishment will be multiplied on the day of resurrection, and they will enter the fire and abide therein humiliated. And now this is the ayah that's about to come that absolutely just blows my mind, and not only inspires me, but just I can't wrap my head around it every time. I'm just so in awe of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's rahmah, of His mercy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Illa, He makes an exception, and He says, except. Man taba, whoever repents, wa amana, and believes, wa amila amalan saliha, and does righteous deeds. Fa ulaika, so those, yubaddilu Allahu sayyi'atihim hasanat. Allah will exchange their evil deeds for good deeds. Now, for me, I just imagine coming on the day of resurrection and seeing on my scale of good deeds all these deeds that I know I didn't do, and I'm like, but I didn't do any of these things. And I get told, those are the sins that you repented for that have now been changed into good deeds. Subhanallah. And the ayah ends off by saying, وَكَانَ اللَّهُ غَفُورًا رَحِيمًا, and ever is Allah Ghafurur Rahima. I think we're all familiar with these, the most forgiving and the most merciful. Subhanallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of them. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. This ayah means that we could potentially come on Yawm al-Qiyamah with more good deeds than somebody who has pious their entire lives. So I urge you to repent immediately and to refrain from going back to your sins. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those who repent to Him perpetually. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. May make us of the Ibadur Rahman. Ameen. And may He enter us into Jannat al-Firdaus. Ala bi ghayri hisab wa bi ghayri adhab. Meaning, may He enter us into the highest place in Jannah, not just the entry level, and may He enter us there without reckoning and without any punishment. If I've made any mistakes, then they're only from myself, and I ask you to forgive me and correct me. And if there has been any good in this video, then it is only from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I ask you to make dua for me. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.